Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So a little while ago, I came across this channel, Anna Bay. She has quite a few videos on there that I've noticed, recently changed the title. And a lot of her videos from a few years ago were like how to get a rich guy, things that turn rich men off, how to know if he's rich. And I've noticed that in the last, I don't know, year or so, she's changed all of those titles to how to find a high value man, how to tell if he has class, if he's high caliber. She's basically swapped out the word rich for, something that doesn't come off so, money hungry. But anyway, I came across this video here and I knew I just had to watch it. It's titled 7 Signs He's a Low Value Man, Get Out. I have a feeling by low value she means how to tell if he's poor. So with that said, let's watch this video and I will give you my own perspective and see, maybe this might be accurate. We'll find out as soon as you subscribe, because we're closing in at 900,000 subscribers. Mean a lot to me. Hit the button, and with that said, let's begin.
My dear elegant ladies, now there might be 7 signs that you are dating a loser. Okay, when I say loser, I don't necessarily mean a loser. To tell you the truth, low quality man was too long to write in the title. So let's keep it simple by just calling him a loser today.
How to tell if he's broke. Step number 1. See if he drives a used car. You don't want people that drive used cars. Number 2, see if he owns a home that's not worth at least $1 million. You could look that up on Google. See when he bought the house on public record, make sure he owns the house, and then you can see what type of loan he has on. You want to make sure it's fully paid off. Let's see. I'll give it a chance.
Before we start with point number 1, you need to be aware that, of course, there might be some things that are going to sound like the partner you are with right now. I'm not telling you to leave him, but I'm telling you that maybe you should start thinking about setting boundaries and your own self-worth.
Oh man, just imagine who's watching this and like doing the checklist, and then all of a sudden their significant other walks into the room and they're like,
hey honey, we gotta have a talk. I just saw this YouTube video, 7 signs, and yeah, I counted 4. So, things aren't looking so good.
You're dating a loser if he expects you to go 50-50 in the relationship with him, or if he wants to split the bill with you. Now, I'm not gonna go too deep on this subject because I've already spoken so much.
What? I count that as just being treated as an equal. I mean, what? How does that make him a loser? What if the other person wants to contribute? What if that's their way of bringing something to the relationship as well and not feeling like they're completely dependent on another person? Having your own sense of identity. I don't know. I could see some situations where it might come off as stingy if the guy's expecting the other person to come up to, their level and split money that they can't afford. I think that would be, a giant red flag. But yeah, geez. I don't see the issue here.
Women also have different types of expenses than men simply because they are women. We actually have to spend more to keep ourselves attractive. And of course, we are attractive because men want us to be attractive. Women spend more on clothes than men. Women spend more on sanitary products than men. Women spend more on beauty products than men, etc., etc., etc.
I don't know. To me, it could go either way because I feel like a lot of women really enjoy that process of like doing their makeup, buying new clothes. It's just like a part of something they enjoy. But I gotta say, guys have their own set of expenses too. Like, reef aquariums, man, I spend more money on that reef aquarium than I'm sure Macy would ever spend on clothing and stuff like that. But honestly, I'm sure you ask most guys, they'd be like, yeah, no, I spend too much money on my car, because I just like fast cars. It's a good image, and that M6 BMW, man, it's expensive, but it's worth it. I would say when you combine everything, I'm sure it's pretty even.
So if he wants to go 50-50 in the relationship, that just simply shows that he doesn't want to step into this masculine role. Plus, he is not a provider, and he might not even be generous.
So basically, is he broke? It's just like, that's really what she's trying to whittle out here, is like, is the guy broke? Is he so broke that he can't just pay everything? That's what it sounds like.
Sign number 2 that you are dating a loser. And that is if he makes you feel weird or crazy or a psychopath or clingy, if you want commitment from him. Being in a relationship, are we an item? Are we not? Or let's say you want to have an engagement, or let's say you want marriage, or you want kids, etc. There are so many men out there who paint the picture as if the woman is the psycho who wants these things, that something is wrong with her.
It sounds like, though, the way she's framing it is that you just got to try to lock it down as fast as possible before he leaves. That's the undertone that I'm kind of detecting here, and you might not have seen some of her previous videos, and I've done a few reactions in the past, but it seems as though she kind of frames this as like, you gotta be in the right place at the right time to be able to hook the rich man, and then make sure he follows this list of guidelines. It just seems like it might be locking down. Now, I have to say, it should be pretty obvious if the other person's into you or not, but maybe it's just the way it's framed. I don't know.
Sign number 3, that you're dating a loser if he is flaky, ghosts you, vanishes, or is completely unreliable.
Okay, so that's a good point. This one I agree with. I think this encompasses everybody, rich and poor, male, female. Doesn't matter. You don't want that in any partner.
If a man is inconsistent, I really don't believe he's that into you. Like, okay, that's the cliche saying, but it really is that simple. A man who is into you, he is going to call you. He is going to make an effort. He is going to climb mountains and walk on seas in order to see you, even if it's a bit difficult right now.
Love the B-roll here. Yeah, the guy sailing the seas in a suit and climbing a mountain. Yeah, that's basically him just driving through traffic to get to you. But overall, this one is good advice. I 100% agree.
Now, before we continue, I know it's a big challenge that we don't know where to meet men and where to meet the elites in general. So you know that I do have a cheat sheet with over 210 places of ideas and suggestions for you.
Oh, look at this. The other one that we just reviewed was how to meet rich men, and she changed it now to where to meet the elite. And I'm pretty sure it's got to be like the same thing. It's just, I think in this day and age, it's less appropriate to say, hey, how to get a rich guy. And now it's like how to find high value, elite, that whole spiel. But yeah, it's funny how the verbiage is changed, but the undertone stays exactly the same.
Now, sign number 4, that you are dating a loser. And okay, before I say what it is that I'm about to say, I know that some of you ladies are going to have a partner like this.
Why am I so worried? I'm like going through this list and I'm like, I hope it's not a quality that I have. I don't know. I'm scared to see what the next one is. Let's see.
Sign number 4, you're dating a loser if he lacks depth, has no other interest than watch football, drink beer, play video games.
Yes. All right, good news. That one doesn't apply to me. Whew. All right, so let's see what she has to say.
You're walking next to the man and it's a little bit chilly. You're wearing a short sleeve top or something like that and it's a little bit cold. And he doesn't offer to give his jacket to you.
What if he's like, hey, honey, you're going to be cold tonight. Grab your jacket. And she's like,
No, I'm not gonna be cold. You always say this, Bob. It's warm outside.
and then she gets out and she's cold. And Bob's like, hey, I told you to bring the jacket. She's like,
Like, I want your jacket. He's like,
no, I told you to bring the jacket. You didn't listen. What if that happened? See, we gotta think of all the situations here. You gotta kind of, scope it out a little bit and just see what's going on here. Or maybe he's just extremely rude. We don't know that, so it could go either way.
You're dating a loser if he starts manipulating you. Once you understand that, you know what? I need to set some boundaries in this relationship. I need to reclaim some unfairnesses that has been going on. So he starts saying that you're materialistic, you're the B word, you're a gold digger.
What? Okay, so I think if a guy calls you any of these things, probably a sign to leave. I mean, let's just be real here. If he's thinking you're materialistic and you're not, you're truly not, probably a sign that that's a him issue. It's not so much of a you issue. Maybe he's dealing with some insecurities here. Maybe he's got some inner work to do. Now, number 2, yeah, if he calls you that, probably a good idea to reevaluate things and see if this is really a healthy relationship. And number 3, if he calls you that, I don't know. I'm just like, just leave if that's an option. Reach out to some friends. Just check what you have available to you. So see if you have a good support system there. Not good things.
Now, I don't know if that's worth to build a future with. So that could potentially be a situation where you have to choose yourself and choose your own needs first.
All right, so that one's pretty decent advice. I'd agree with that. I think boundaries are important for both people. So that way it's known and it's clear what your expectations are, what theirs are. Make sure you meet in the middle.
If you are in a serious committed relationship with somebody who is still partying all night long, every weekend, and cannot be without his clubbing with the boys pretty much every weekend.
Yeah, again, I kind of agree with that one too. So far, a lot of this, I didn't expect to go into it with like, oh yeah, this is good advice. Overall though, it's not bad advice.
It's not just what he wants, it's also what you want. Don't forget that, my dear elegant ladies. In the next video, how to make him beg for your attention, you're going to find out exactly how to be the one that the man runs after repeatedly.
Okay, so overall, you know what? Went into it with an open mind and not as bad as I thought. So decent advice overall, and I think it could apply to anybody in any income bracket. And guys, you just gotta be better. That's my advice. And there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, my advice is to subscribe. Feel free to add me on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.